Imagine waking up every day and feeling an invisible force pulling you toward your phone, your television, or your gaming console. Imagine reaching for it before even getting out of bed, scrolling endlessly, consuming video after video, show after show, game after game. Hours slip by in what feels like minutes. You tell yourself, just one more episode, just one more level, just one more scroll. But before you know it, the day is gone. Your time is gone. And deep inside you feel something is missing. You feel empty. But why? Why do so many of us feel trapped in an endless cycle of entertainment? What if I told you that this isn't just a personal struggle, but a crisis, one that is silently eroding the very foundations of our society? What if I told you that this addiction to entertainment is reshaping our minds, our relationships, and even our ability to think critically? And what if I told you that by the end of this video, you will see the most shocking truth of all, the one thing that makes this addiction so powerful and so dangerous? Today we will unravel the hidden dangers of entertainment addiction, exploring how it is rewiring our brains, weakening our ability to focus, and making us more vulnerable to control and manipulation. We will uncover the strategies used by billion-dollar industries to keep us hooked, and most importantly, we will reveal the way out. But stay until the end, because the final insight will change the way you see entertainment forever. In the past, entertainment was a luxury. People worked hard, and in their spare moments they sought leisure. A book, a play, a concert, each required effort, attention, and a degree of patience. But today, entertainment is not just available, it is inescapable. Algorithms dictate what we watch. Infinite scrolling keeps us engaged. The next episode plays automatically. Everything is designed to keep us consuming without thinking. But have you ever stopped to wonder, why? Why is it that the most powerful companies in the world want us to stay entertained every second of the day? To answer that, we must first understand the science behind addiction. Researchers have found that excessive entertainment consumption stimulates the release of dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. Every time we get a notification, a new episode, or a viral video, our brain rewards us with a burst of pleasure. But over time, just like with any addiction, we need more and more to feel the same level of satisfaction. What once was enjoyable becomes a necessity, and before we realize it, we are trapped, unable to stop, even when we know it is harming us. Psychologist B.F. Skinner conducted experiments on what he called variable reward systems. He discovered that when rewards are unpredictable, they become more addictive. This is exactly how social media, streaming services, and video games are designed. You never know what the next video will be, what the next post will say, or what the next loot box will contain. This unpredictability keeps us hooked, craving more. But here is where it gets even more dangerous. As entertainment becomes our primary source of stimulation, real life starts to feel dull in comparison. Why read a book when you can watch a fast-paced video summary? Why have a deep conversation when you can scroll through endless memes? Why develop a skill when you can get instant satisfaction from a game? Bit by bit, our ability to engage with reality weakens. We become passive consumers rather than active participants in our own lives. And this is no accident. The most powerful tech companies in the world understand this better than we do. In fact, former executives from companies like Facebook and Google have openly admitted that their platforms were designed to exploit human psychology, to keep us engaged for as long as possible. Sean Parker, the first president of Facebook, once revealed that social media was built to create a social validation feedback loop, manipulating our brain chemistry to make us addicted. And the consequences: a society that is more distracted, more passive, and more disconnected from reality than ever before. Think about it. When was the last time you spent a day without consuming entertainment? When was the last time you sat in silence, thinking deeply without the urge to check your phone? But this is just the beginning. What happens when an entire generation grows up with their minds shaped by constant stimulation? What happens when critical thinking is replaced by instant gratification? What happens when entertainment becomes more real than reality itself? Stay with me, because in the next part we will dive deeper into the hidden consequences of this addiction, how it is affecting our mental health, our ability to think for ourselves, and our capacity to take control of our own lives. The consequences of entertainment addiction run deeper than we think. It is not just about wasting time or being distracted. It is about the slow but steady erosion of our mental strength, our capacity to think critically, and even our sense of self. One of the most alarming effects of this addiction is its impact on our attention span. Studies have shown that the average human attention span has dropped significantly over the past 2 decades. In the year 2000, before the rise of smartphones and social media, the average attention span was around 12 seconds. Today, it is less than 8 seconds, shorter than that of a goldfish. But this is not just a coincidence. The constant stream of rapid entertainment is training our brains to seek quick hits of stimulation, making it harder to focus on anything that requires deep thought or sustained effort. This decline in attention is not just an inconvenience, it is a serious problem. The ability to concentrate is the foundation of all meaningful achievements. Whether it is learning a new skill, building a business, or maintaining healthy relationships, all of these require sustained focus. But when our brains are conditioned to seek instant gratification, anything that requires patience starts to feel unbearable. How many people today struggle to read a book from beginning to end? How many find it difficult to sit through a deep conversation without checking their phones? This is the cost of constant entertainment. A weakened mind, incapable of deep work or deep thought. And it does not stop there. Entertainment addiction also affects our emotions. When we rely on entertainment for constant stimulation, we lose touch with our natural ability to regulate our moods. Think about it. How many people use entertainment as an escape? When they feel sad, they watch a show. When they feel anxious, they scroll through social media. When they feel bored, they play a game. Instead of confronting their emotions, they suppress them with endless distractions. Over time, this leads to emotional numbness, a state where real-life experiences feel dull, and only extreme forms of entertainment can evoke any strong emotions. Psychologists call this the dopamine deficit state. When we overstimulate our brains with constant entertainment, we become desensitized to everyday pleasures. A simple walk in nature, a meaningful conversation, or a quiet moment of reflection no longer feels fulfilling. Instead, we crave more intense stimulation, more excitement, more novelty, more entertainment. This creates a vicious cycle. The more we consume, the more we need, and the harder it becomes to find joy in the real world. But perhaps the most sinister effect of entertainment addiction is its ability to shape our beliefs and behaviors. Many people assume that entertainment is just a way to relax, that it has no real influence on their thoughts. But this could not be further from the truth. Every story we consume, every video we watch, every song we listen to, it all shapes our perception of reality. And those who control entertainment have immense power over society. Take a moment to think about the messages that dominate modern entertainment. What values are being promoted? What ideas are being repeated over and over again? In many cases, entertainment is not just a distraction, it is a tool for influence. Films, television shows, social media trends, all of these subtly shape how we see the world, often without us even realizing it. Historian and social critic Neil Postman warned about this in his book, Amusing Ourselves to Death. He argued that when a society becomes obsessed with entertainment, it loses its ability to think critically and distinguish truth from illusion. He believed that the greatest threat to freedom was not censorship, but distraction, because a distracted population is easier to manipulate. And this is exactly what we see today. While people are consumed by endless entertainment, real issues go unnoticed. Instead of questioning the world around them, they are absorbed in fictional dramas and meaningless controversies. Instead of working on their own lives, they live vicariously through influencers and celebrities. This is how entertainment addiction weakens society. It turns people into passive observers instead of active participants. But there is a deeper question we need to ask. Who benefits from this? Who gains from a population that is constantly distracted and unable to think critically? The answer is simple: those in power. Governments, corporations, and media conglomerates all benefit from a society that is too entertained to question the status quo. When people are distracted, they are easier to control. When they are addicted to entertainment, they are less likely to resist oppression, less likely to fight for their rights, and less likely to pursue real growth. This is why breaking free from entertainment addiction is not just a personal victory. It is an act of rebellion. It is a way to reclaim our minds, our time, and our potential. But how do we do it? How do we retrain our brains to seek meaning instead of mindless entertainment? How do we break free from the cycle of distraction and reclaim control over our own lives? The answer to these questions is coming next. Stay with me, because in the next section we will explore the path to liberation, practical strategies to break free from entertainment addiction and rebuild the focus, discipline, and clarity that modern society is trying to take away from us. If we want to reclaim our minds and break free from the grip of entertainment addiction, we must first understand one simple truth. The addiction is not the root problem. It is only a symptom. The real problem is much deeper. Think about it. Why do we turn to entertainment in the first place? Why do we crave constant distraction? The answer is uncomfortable but necessary to face. We are running away from something, from discomfort, from boredom, from our own thoughts. Boredom in its natural state is not something to be feared. It is a signal. It tells us that our minds are underutilized, that we need to engage in something meaningful. But when we silence boredom with endless entertainment, we miss the opportunity to confront ourselves. We miss the chance to grow. Philosopher Blaise Pascal once wrote, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." And he was right. In a world without constant entertainment, people were forced to think, to reflect, to create. But today, the moment we feel even a second of silence, we grab our phones. We run from ourselves. And this is exactly how entertainment addiction keeps us weak. It prevents us from developing the mental strength needed to face life head-on. But here is the good news. If entertainment addiction is a learned behavior, it can be unlearned. It is not a life sentence. It is a habit that can be broken, and the key lies in rewiring our relationship with stimulation. The first step is to rebuild our ability to focus. Our attention spans have been shattered by fast-paced entertainment, but they can be restored. Start small. Set a timer and spend just 10 minutes reading a book without distraction. Then increase it to 20 minutes, then 30. Over time, your brain will adjust. You will train yourself to engage with deeper, slower forms of content. And once you do, you will begin to notice something incredible. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your mind will feel sharper. The fog created by endless entertainment will begin to lift. The second step is to embrace boredom. Instead of avoiding it, lean into it. The next time you feel the urge to reach for your phone, resist it. Sit with the discomfort. Let your mind wander. This is how creativity is born. Some of the greatest ideas in history came not from moments of high stimulation, but from deep, uninterrupted thought. Albert Einstein developed his theory of relativity during long, quiet hours of contemplation. Leonardo da Vinci's greatest inventions came from a mind free from distraction. When you remove the noise of entertainment, you make room for true inspiration. The third step is to be intentional with entertainment. Not all entertainment is harmful, but passive consumption is. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, choose what you consume with purpose. Ask yourself, is this adding value to my life? Is this teaching me something? Is this making me a better person? If the answer is no, reconsider it. Entertainment should be a tool, not a trap. It should enrich your life, not drain it. The fourth step is to replace consumption with creation. Many people consume entertainment because they feel unfulfilled. They are watching other people live exciting lives while feeling stuck in their own. The solution? Become a creator. Write, paint, build something, learn a new skill. When you shift from consuming to creating, you take back control. You stop being a spectator and start being a participant in your own life. But here is where the real transformation happens. Once you break free from entertainment addiction, something profound takes place. You start to see the world differently. You begin to notice how distracted everyone else is. You see how entire lives are being wasted in front of screens. And you realize that the real battle is not just about breaking free from entertainment. It is about reclaiming your mind in a world that wants to keep it numb. And this leads us to the most powerful realization of all, the one that will change how you see entertainment forever. Because breaking free is not just about productivity. It is not just about self-improvement. It is about something much bigger. Stay with me, because in the final part of this video, I will reveal the ultimate truth about entertainment addiction, why it exists, who benefits from it, and how freeing yourself from it is the first step to unlocking your true potential. Now that we understand how entertainment addiction weakens our minds and how to break free from it, we must confront the most important question of all. Why does this addiction exist in the first place? Who benefits from keeping society in a state of constant distraction? The answer is unsettling. This is not just an accident, it is by design. Throughout history, those in power have always sought ways to control the masses. In ancient times, it was through brute force. In later eras, it was through propaganda. But in the modern world, control is far more subtle. It does not come through open oppression, it comes through distraction. The Roman Empire had a phrase for this: bread and circuses. The idea was simple: keep the population entertained and well-fed, and they will not rebel. Give them constant distractions, and they will not question the system. And this strategy is still being used today, but on a scale that the Romans could never have imagined. Governments, corporations, and media conglomerates all understand a fundamental truth. A distracted society is an obedient society. A population addicted to entertainment does not have the time or mental clarity to challenge authority. They do not protest injustices. They do not question corruption. They do not seek higher knowledge. Instead, they are pacified, entertained, and ultimately controlled. Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World, predicted this long ago. He warned that the greatest threat to freedom would not come from those who take information away, but from those who flood the world with so much entertainment that people would no longer care about the truth. And is that not exactly what we see today? A world drowning in endless content, reality shows, viral videos, social media trends, while real problems are ignored. A society where people know more about fictional characters than their own history, where opinions are shaped not by deep research, but by the loudest voices on the internet. And here is the harsh truth: if you do not control your attention, someone else will. Every major platform, Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, fights for one thing: your time. Your focus is their currency. The longer you stay, the more money they make. And they do not just compete with other entertainment companies. They compete with your life, with your relationships, with your dreams. Their goal is to keep you hooked for as long as possible, because every second you give to them is a second you are not giving to yourself. But the most tragic consequence of entertainment addiction is not just wasted time, it is wasted potential. Every great achievement in human history, from the art of Michelangelo to the theories of Einstein, came from individuals who could focus deeply on their work. But what happens to a generation that never develops this ability? What happens when an entire society is conditioned to seek only instant gratification? The answer is simple: nothing great gets built. Nothing revolutionary gets discovered. The world stagnates. And that is why breaking free from entertainment addiction is more than just a personal choice. It is an act of resistance. It is the decision to reclaim your mind from those who seek to control it. It is the choice to use your time for something greater than passive consumption. So here is the challenge. For 1 week, limit your entertainment consumption. No mindless scrolling, no binge-watching, no video game marathons. Instead, use that time to do something meaningful. Read a book, learn a skill, have deep conversations. Write down your thoughts, reflect, observe how your mind begins to change. See how your focus improves, how your creativity awakens, how your energy shifts. Because in the end, the battle against entertainment addiction is not just about watching less, it is about living more. It is about taking back control, about refusing to let your mind be numbed by endless distractions, about choosing to be the creator of your own destiny rather than a passive observer of someone else's story. So now, I leave you with one question, the most important question of all. What will you do with your time now that you know the truth? Thanks for looking.